Hey guys, Josh here again. Decided to make another how-to video since people seem to benefit from the Masked Dragon video. Gonna do one about a mix of dragons and balloons, sometimes called drag loons, sometimes called Chinese dragons. The moral of the story is you'll usually have 6 to 8 dragons and the rest balloons, and usually in your clan castle you'll either want another dragon or another pack of level 6 balloons. The key difference between mixing dragons and balloons and just going all dragons is that the balloons only seek defenses. So what you'll end up doing is putting your dragons down. Your dragons end up acting like tanks. They act like giants or golems, where all of the defenses will be firing on the dragons, and while the defenses are distracted with the dragons, you send in your balloons. There's a few things to know about the balloons. Balloons are generally weak. It doesn't take a whole lot to kill a balloon. That's why you have to send them in big packs. But they're very powerful, especially level 6. Oh, by the way, if you're an earlier mid-Town Hall 8 watching this right now, just go ahead and close out the video and switch over to watch my Masked Dragon video, because dragons and balloons aren't hugely effective until you have level 6 balloons, which are the black ones. If you still have red balloons, this isn't going to work nearly as well as just doing all Masked Dragon attacks. My general guidance is for Town Hall 8s and below, stick with Masked Dragon. Once you hit Town Hall 9 and you can get the black level 6 balloons, then this is a great strategy for you to use. So things to know about the balloons. Balloons, like dragons, are fairly slow, except that balloons are very fragile. The nice thing about balloons is the bombs that they drop are very powerful, and they do splash damage. So every time one of those bombs fall, it not only does a strong amount of damage to the defense that it's targeting, but it also damages anything around it, including walls, other defenses that are next to it, heroes, clan castle troops. There's actually a strategy some people use that when they lure out the clan castle troops, they lure them over to the side, and then they deploy a balloon that will float over the top of the troops, and when the troops shoot down the balloon falls on top of them and explodes, doing splash damage. That's another huge benefit of balloons. The bombs that the balloons are carrying detonate when they hit the ground, so when a balloon gets shot down, it actually explodes on the ground. It does more damage. So you can kill heroes that way, you can kill clan castle troops that way, or for example, you'll see in the video replay that I'm about to show, there are cases where a balloon can go to, say, an archer tower, live long enough to drop one bomb, then the archer tower manages to shoot it down, and when the balloon falls on the archer tower, that's all that's needed to destroy that archer tower. So one balloon can actually kill an archer tower in, I won't say one shot, we'll say 1.5 shots, because it's one bomb drop, and then the balloon itself falling and exploding takes out the rest of it. These aren't, huge deals in themselves, but when you're sending out a group of, 15, 18, 20 balloons, it makes a really big difference. As far as spells go for the dragon and balloon unit attacks, or not balloon unit, the dragon and balloon attacks, general advice is to bring 2 rage spells and 2 heal spells. The rages pretty much rush your troops beyond the first air defense. Then I typically would drop another, the first heal, and that heals up the dragons and the balloons. And then once they get close to the middle of the base, either near the town hall or near a cluster of big defenses, drop another rage, and usually shortly thereafter drop another heal. This way all the troops in the area survive and keep on going. Heroes, a lot of times the king and queen, I will either use them as tanks on the opposite end of the base. Once the dragons and balloons start getting near the other end, I'll drop my king and queen on that receiving end to distract the archer towers and any other anti-air defenses that will also shoot ground troops. This way, while they're distracted on my heroes, the balloons have time to sneak in, or the dragons have time to come in and blow them up. That's really the key to it. As far as positioning your dragons, It's very similar if you've watched my how to use Mass Dragon video. The concept is the same. You want to start out targeting a building on the left and right, or basically on the two ends, almost acting like bookends for where you're going to deploy the rest of your dragons. So, on my base, if I were to try to attack my base, I might, deploy a dragon on this army camp over here, and another one on the exact opposite side over here. Let them destroy those two things, and once those are destroyed and open up, then I'll drop the rest of my dragons up here in pretty much a V shape around the rest of these buildings. The benefit to that is the dragons that are coming up here on these upper buildings, they're going to have a blank space when they get to these army camps, and knowing that dragons attack the next nearest target, no matter what it is, if these two army camps are empty because they were already destroyed, the dragons will always turn inside and they'll go after these builder huts. So, exact same concept as I explained in my Mass Dragon video, and you can start out the exact same way. Usually what I do when I do a dragon and balloon attack is I'll deploy the dragons first, and I just let the dragons, chomp up all the buildings until it looks like they're getting close to being in range of the air defenses. I don't necessarily want to wait until the air defenses start firing, but when I think they're getting kind of close to it, I'll drop my balloons. Because keep in mind, balloons are slow, so if you wait until the air defenses start firing, the balloons are still going to take several seconds to get there, and you might end up losing too many dragons. So drop your dragons, let them chew through defenses. Once you think they're getting within a couple seconds of being in range of the air defenses, then you drop your balloons. Once the dragons actually start taking air defense fire, that's when I drop a rage, as I would say, to act almost like as a bridge or a connector connecting the dragon to the air defense. And when I say that, it basically means the gap of the rage spell, the circle that the rage spell creates, should basically go from the dragon itself either right up onto the air defense or to just in front of it, depending on how much distance is involved. This way your dragons will be raged the entire time that they're trying to chew through whatever buildings are between themselves and the air defenses. And more importantly, since you drop the balloons right behind the dragons, the balloons are going to come flying in, and a lot of times they'll actually get ahead of the dragons. They'll take out those air defenses. Shortly after that, you drop your heal spells, and that heals them up from whatever damage they've taken in that initial attack. By that time, they should end up somewhere around the middle of the base, and if all goes to plan, you'll end up 3-starring. So let me pull up. This is from our last war, which was cool because it was with another Reddit clan. We were up against Reddit Vortex, who was actually, a pretty heavy-duty opponent, and they gave us a hard time. But in the end, we managed to pull out, some extra stars at the end, and came away victorious. All right, so here's our Reddit Vortex war, and let me just pull up my attacks. Here we go. This guy, Ender Soup, was the second attack that I had made. Let's see what I did. If you take a look at this guy, I'll let the first two guys come down so I can explain it. If you look at where these first two dragons are, there's a very specific reason for where they are. Look at the map as a whole. This base is kind of broken up into multiple sections. The dragon that's up here by this archer tower, I dropped there to create a gap between that archer tower and this elixir storage and the wizard here, and the dragon on the bottom. The intention there was to do the exact same thing. Number one, archer towers do actually do a decent amount of damage to dragons. They won't obviously kill them in 2 or 3 shots, but they plink away at them and take them down. So I wanted to get those guys out of the way first. Wizard towers don't actually do much damage to dragons. They do a lot of damage to balloons, though, especially when they're in groups, because they do splash damage. So I dropped these 2 dragons here. Those are the bookends that I was telling you about. The whole purpose of these dragons is to create a gap in the buildings and in the defenses so that your dragons and balloons go straight to the middle. You don't want them wandering off to the sides. The goal here is this upper dragon is going to take out this archer tower, and then he's going to move to this cannon, and then he's going to move to this builder hut and this this mortar. Why is that beneficial? That's beneficial so that when I drop my balloons out around this area, they don't get distracted and head off towards this group of defenses, because those are the closest ones. I want my balloons heading, you know, straight in here to the honeypot and taking out the world, not, you know, going for a tour around the outside of the base. This guy down here, same deal. I'm just taking out some of the defenses so there will be less distractions for my balloons, because keep in mind, even if I drop my balloons right here by this wizard, they're going to take out the wizard tower and that cannon, and if both of these defenses are still here, they're going to come over here to the bottom, and then the next closest defense will be this air defense, and then they'll probably go down to this wizard tower. Next thing you know, they're going all the way around the outside of the base, and you're having a bad day. So again, quick recap. I dropped these two dragons where I did to create a gap so that the other dragons won't be distracted and go around the outside of the base. And I specifically chose to put them on defenses to take out these archer towers for the same thing, to create a gap in the defenses so that my balloons won't be attracted to defenses that would take them away from the middle. So let's go ahead and play. You'll see that we're letting the dragons create those gaps. I dropped this third dragon here just to take away some extra buildings, and again keep the other dragons from getting too distracted and wandering away. There's the air defense firing. I'm dropping in my balloons, and then I'm gonna rage pretty much everything, because the dragons and balloons are on top of each other. Now here, the clan castle troopers are coming out. There's a couple witches. That first air defense is gone. You can see here I dropped my heal spell. I'll pause this for a second. If you look, the dragons are actually getting distracted by these little skeletons that the witches made, which is fine. It doesn't hurt anything right now. But dragons do get sucked over to clan castle troops and heroes. They prefer to target those over buildings. So be aware of that. If your clan castle troops go running off somewhere and your dragon is currently target them, the dragon may take off to the other side of the base chasing them. For the balloons, again, if you look at spells, I started off with a rage to get them raged through that first air defense, and to start taking out the clan castle troops quickly. Because one thing that's also important when you raise the rage the dragons, they don't just move faster, they also target new troops faster, and clearly they fire faster. That gets them to chew up the clan castle troops faster, because again, when you got a big bunch of dragons like this, a pack of like level 5 and 6 wizards can just destroy these guys in a matter of a few shots, because they do splash damage. So it's definitely important when you're dealing with clan castle troops to drop your rage spells and get the dragons to destroy the CC troops before they get destroyed themselves. Then I've got this heal spell. There's a reason that I dropped the heal spell right after the rage spell, so that everything that follows through that path, is getting healed up. If you look at the balloons, you know, started taking damage. They got healed up. They're probably at max health now because they heal quickly. Now we're on the town hall, and you can see there's an air defense down there. There's a bunch of level 6 Teslas, and those guys are wicked strong. There's a level 2 Expo, and your queen is buried down there too. They're all going to get killed by these balloons between splash damage and direct fire, and that's why I dropped the rage on this whole area. The dragons are going to finish killing those the clan castle troops, and then they're going to come and join the party. So let's see how they do. There I dropped a freeze. That's only relevant if you're Town Hall 10. For obvious reasons, it freezes everything from annoying us. So look at those little skeletons running out to go after my Barbarian King. This is the point that I mentioned before, that I drop my heroes on the opposite end of the attack, down here, for a few reasons. Number one, it's distracting this archer tower, and this wizard tower, and this archer tower from shooting at my balloons that are about to come in range of all of them. That's number one. So I'm letting my balloons live longer, and my dragons once they get into range. Number two, look where that air defense is. If for some reason my balloons you know, go weird on me and head off in a different direction, these heroes, once they destroy these buildings around them, are likely to turn and go down that middle path and take out those buildings, including that air defense, which can make my dragons and my balloons live longer, which is obviously the goal, because they're the main players here, not the heroes. So let's keep going. So there goes the balloons, luckily heading straight for that air defense. There's another air defense firing on them, but looks like these dragons are gonna do some work and take them out over there. There's my heroes doing work. Watch those balloons. Watch the splash damage as the balloons fall. You can see they're damaging those walls. And even when they drop bombs on these defenses, the walls get damaged as well. That's a splash damage. Check it out. And there you go. I'll speed through this. The rest of it's fairly straightforward, but I'll give you a view of the splash damage of these balloons going down again. Watch these balloons. They're going to get chewed up by that wizard tower. Look how powerful that wizard tower is on these balloons. It's damaging all of them with every shot. Now watch these balloons. They're doing damage. Every time one of them falls, he's damaging everything around it. That's the beauty of the balloons with splash damage. Now the dragons are going to clean up. And we had a successful attack there. So the next raid, I'll set it up. I won't talk as much through it. I'm just trying to give you guys you know, the best strategy I can with this. Let's go this guy, Cricket. I had actually attacked him first. Now this base looks like a mess, but again, when you're scoping out your bases, take a look at what you're looking at. Number one, look where the air defenses are. They're almost making a beautiful path right across the base, which is good. If they're all clustered up together, it means they're all going to be firing on you at the same time. In this case, you have one here, you have two in the middle, next to those expos, which beautifully are pointing down. Anytime you have a choice and you're doing an air attack, pick expos that are pointing down, not up at the sky, and you effectively can ignore them like they're not there. And there's that last air defense over there. This is beautiful that it's in a little wall enclosure that's open, because that means I can drop my heroes there and they'll go and kill that thing for me without having to break through a wall. So I can almost ignore that air defense. These two are going to get chewed up with the town hall, and this first one is going to be destroyed in the opening salvos of the war. Now, look where I dropped these first two balloons. I got one down here on the far corner. I got another one down here in the far corner. Now, with only 8 dragons I'm bringing with me, that's kind of a big stretch. But, again, if you look at the way things are laid out, what's going to happen is, you're going to see in a minute, I drop a couple balloons early. I drop 2 balloons down here, or 3, and I drop another 2 balloons on this archer tower over here. That's to clear them out, again, to keep the balloons from going wide and going in the wrong direction. And again, that's the whole logic. You want to create gaps, you want to take out the defenses that are going to steer your balloons in the wrong direction. You want to take out the outside buildings, you know, on the outside of the area you're attacking, so that your dragons don't go wrong. And let's see how this goes. The center of my attack, by the way, is ultimately going to be this air defense and this builder hut right here. That's where I want the bulk of my troops to go in, and I'm hoping everything will end up centralizing right here over the middle of the base, where I'm going to drop some heals and some rage, and it might be a spell party. So there's the 2 balloons. Watch this. The first balloon drops his bomb, then falls, and that AT is down. Watch this guy. Again, balloons are beautiful. So here you go. Here's the bulk of my attack. I got my dragons in the center. I followed up immediately with my balloons. There's rage to get through that first air defense and to get my troops over to the clan castle troops to take them out. Watch as these balloons go down. They're actually doing splash damage to the clan castle troops. There goes the dragons, destroying them before I could even say it. You can see my freeze coming in a minute. And again, if you look, I started off with rage over here with the first air defense. Then this is a heal right here. You know, obviously to heal the guys up. And here's another rage. That was to get them through the remaining clan castle troops, the first expo, and all the other stuff, and take out the town hall. I still have, then I've got the other heal that's actually right under the same area, and I still have a freeze that's going to help me, you know, silence some more of these defenses. Here you go. So you can see everybody's still raged, everybody got charged up from the heal spell, so everybody's pretty much at full health, which is beautiful. And you can see I froze that air defense and then dropped my king in, and king went nuts and took out that air defense. Now you can see there's very little left in the way of buildings. Here goes some more balloon splash damage. There goes the dragons to Get revenge for their balloon buddy. Now we have nothing but dragons left, but that's all we need. I'm just going to mop up the joint. And there's another 3-star. So, you know, I know it looks easy because it's replays. I'm not showing any fails, which do happen on occasion. But again, if you choose your base well, you know, the base that you're going to attack, look for key indicators. If the air defenses are spread out, then it means, you know, your troops are going to take less simultaneous fire at once. If one or more of the air defenses is exposed, like this first one up here was, that I could drop my king to take out, even better. Make sure if it's Town Hall 9 or higher, if the expos are down, that always makes it a much more attractive candidate. And, you know, I generally try to avoid using this strategy much on Town Hall 10s with Inferno Towers, unless the Inferno Towers are placed close together and are low level and I can just drop a freeze spell on them, but that's obviously only relevant for Town Hall 10s who have freeze spells. But Inferno Towers are just generally bad news. If they're on multi, then they'll chew up your balloons. If they're on single, they'll be lethal for your dragons. You know, I would definitely say if you're going to use dragons and balloons, at the very least, practice and get really good at it attacking Town Hall 9s. Once you've gotten solid, you can take a crack at Town Hall 10s, but then you're more likely to get a 2-star instead of a 3-star, with some exceptions. So, that's about it. If you got any questions, post them in the comments, or ask me in game. If you don't happen to be a clan member of ours, I'm part of Reddit Aries, and you can find us on Reddit at reddit.com/r/Reddit Aries, one word. Otherwise, to my clanmates, I'll see you in game, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this and found it useful. Thanks.